Alright, today we've got our battle report for the new Tau Empire Codex versus the Tyranids. We're working on 6th edition today. I'll be playing the Tau army that you're going to see here. Going to post this on Stealthsaiyan Gaming so everybody can check it out. Haven't been a lot of updates lately, but hopefully this will get some people watching again as we move on to some different games. Going to start out with my heavy supports here. Got just a broadside suit with his missile system and his twin-linked railgun. Beside him, I've got my stealth team. They've got a marker light drone, and then they've got a chasseur, and he's got a fusion blaster. Going down the line here, I have our Pathfinder team. Got one railgun, marker light, one ion gun, and a chasseur in that one as well. Continuing into my troop choices, have 2 squads of 12 fire warriors, both with commanders and both with a marker light drone in each one of those. Next in my troop selection we have Kroot. Gotta have Kroot. Love them for every army, everything we do, with a Shaper in that group. And then down here on the end we have our heavy hitters. Have my last elite, the El Catechismo Riptide battle suit with heavy burst cannon with his 2 missile drones with their invulnerable saves. And lastly, I'm going to be proxying a model today. This nice magician lady is going to be my cadre Fireblade to help out some of these Fire Warrior squads against the Tyranid.
Alright, and this is the Tyranid list that's going to be going against the Tau today. Starting off with the Hive Tyrant with wings. We call him Flappy number 2. He's got, I'm going to use some of the 6th edition Biomancy psychic powers, which I'm going to roll for it later. And he's got Toxin Sacks. Got 2 squads of warriors with Death Spitters and Toxin Sacks. Pretty straightforward. 2 squads of 10 Termagants with Spine Fists, also with Toxin Sacks. And finishing it off with Old One Eye. Kind of small, but definitely straightforward. You're going to try to get in the Tau's face.
Alright, so here we have the Tau deployment. The Tau and the Tyranids are all deployed. All of our scout moves and infiltrate moves. You'll see that we're doing just a little bit of a variant of the first standard mission here. We're all still getting pretty new to 6th edition, so we're keeping it pretty simple. I've set up my crew. I've infiltrated them over here on the left side of the board across from his Carnifex and his warriors, hoping maybe we can slow them up. Right beside him we've got the Riptide suit, hopefully with a good line of sight down the line, positioned right beside my Pathfinder groups. Hopefully he can piggyback on some of their marker lights. Continuing down the line, I've got my 2 squads of 12 Fire Warriors together, so hopefully we can get some supporting fire when, and not if, when we do get charged this game. Got my Cadre Fireblade right there in the middle, so hopefully he can get his marker light on some things too. Again, right beside them, the broadside, down range of the Hive Tyrant, who's got those wings, so I think he's going to be up in the air some, but we'll see how that goes. And I also not sure where I wanted to put my stealth suit here. I'm just going to try to put him on the side to give us some supporting fire. There's a 1 fusion blaster in there, so maybe we can take a pop shot at the Hive Tyrant, but maybe if I can get my burst cannons on the side of that Warrior Gaunt squad without getting too close to him. But I get the first turn. He tried to seize the initiative and didn't get that, so we'll see how it goes.
Alright, turn 1 deployment. I got Flappy number 2 here, hiding behind this rock, intending to fly 24 inches, well, up to 24 inches, just to kind of get a good position. Probably soak up a few shots. Maybe these guys won't be getting shot at because he's a pretty big threat. Over here in the middle, got the 4 warriors with Death Spitters, being granted cover by the Termagants, just in case. Planning to all move these guys forward, take little pot shots. Planning on these guys dying relatively easy because their saves are not very good. On the side over here, it's about the same. Termagants come with move through cover, so I'm trying to take advantage of that, going through these woods. Monster creatures do as well. So Old One Eye here will get a good cover save going through the woods. Trying to soak up some shots, maybe not get wounded walking across this board. And these warriors back here with the Death Spitters are just there for support. So they all shoot blast weapons, so just trying to do some damage. That's about all they got.
Alright, first turn shooting here for the Tau. Kroot didn't do much, killed 1 or 2 of the Gaunts back there in the back. But we had a fairly productive middle of the line here. The Riptide, the Pathfinders, and my 2 squads of warriors were able to take out the entire Gaunt squad and the warriors behind them. A Nova charged the Riptide, and he took a wound on one of his get hot shots, but I feel like that was okay for the amount of damage that he put out. The broadside here was able to put 1 wound on the Hive Tyrant, which was good, and then my stealth suits came out and they got their marker light on one of the Gaunt squads, but none of the burst cannons did anything. But overall, fairly productive first turn of shooting for the Tau.
I moved the Gaunts up through the woods, hopefully to get close enough to shoot these Kroot, but I was out of range, so I just ran them instead. They ran 6 inches through the woods. I moved Old One Eye up, hopefully to get him through with move through cover, which he got a 6. He moved through cover. And I wanted to assault these guys, but that's definitely not going to happen until next turn. The Warriors just stayed back here for some suppressive fire, just to kind of help. They didn't really do anything, though, because Tyranids aren't known for shooting. Flappy, I decided I wasn't going to fly behind them. Decided I was going to take a risk and move my 12 inches and try to cast my psychic power to give me fleet so I can reroll my charge distance, but it definitely didn't work out that way. So I had to roll an 11 on 2 dice with no reroll, and he did it to get in combat with these the stealth team here. So now we're going to see what happens. Right. Flappy assaulted the stealth team. He hit with everything, and he wounded with everything, pretty much wiping them out. Yeah, they all went down. And he consolidated 5 on a d6 to get him into the ruins, hopefully to get him a 4+ cover save for all the shots that are about to come his way.
Alright, for Tal Turner shooting 2, we really tried to concentrate on Old One Eye there. I had the Kroot shoot a few gaunts just to hopefully get them out of the way, and they did. The Riptide, the Pathfinders, this squad of Fire Warriors, and the Broadside all shot Old One Eye, and only managed to get 3 of his 4 wounds out of the way, which is pretty scary because he's definitely going to be in charge range. The last bit of shots for this turn, my last squad of Fire Warriors shot the Hive Tyrant in the ruins there. Even with him being in the cover and everything, they were able to manage 1 wound. So not bad, not what we wanted, but not bad.
Tyranid shooting phase. I shot the Warriors over here at the stealth team, or Pathfinders, and I killed 5 of them with their Death Spitters. Actually hit pretty well, and the preferred enemy for the Toxin Sacks really helped me on that one. Old One Eye is getting ready to get into his stuff. Over here, Flappy number 2 cast his Witchfire Leech Essence on these guys, killed 2 of them and got a wound back, so now he's got 3 wounds left instead of 2. So now we're getting into the good stuff. Old One Eye charged in, killed 1 Kroot with his Hammer of Wrath, and then the Kroot fought him, didn't do any wounds. Well, no, I think they did 1 wound to him. Yeah, they did. But then he killed 4 more, and they passed their leadership test, though, so they're going to stick it out and fight. At the end of the turn, the Kroot had to wrap around, so they covered all base access, so Riptide couldn't come in and assault Old One Eye. Over here, the Tyrant went in, failed to wound with his Hammer of Wrath, but he killed 3 or 4 Fire Warriors. They failed their leadership test, and he caught them with the initiative roll. So now he is going to consolidate out into the middle of the field to take some shots.
Tal shooting turn 3. The Riptide suit shot his Nova Charge burst cannon into the Warriors. I was able to kill 1 full Warrior and do 1 wound on another. Down the line here, the Pathfinders shot their marker lights into the Hive Tyrant. The Fire Warriors and the Broadside had to shoot, but we were able to take him down. So that was a big worry taking up the board. So see how this assault goes with the Kroot here in a second. Alright, the Kroot versus Old One Eye didn't go too well. We didn't get any wounds on him. They lost 5 models. We failed our leadership test and fell back. Now he's going to consolidate and just has a lot of trouble because it's going to be his move now.
Warrior shot into the Pathfinders, killed 2 of them with the Death Spitters. Now we're going to get into combat and try and save some of my dignity. Okay, Old One Eye charged in to Riptide's unit, only made contact with the drones. He killed 1 of the drones, but not before the drone hit him and wounded him, but he made it save. Then at his initiative step, Riptide came in and went to use the smash attack and got 1 hit and a 1-2 wound. So Old One Eye made it out this time, but I don't think it's going to work next turn.
Alright, Tal turn shooting 4. Started with the Pathfinders here into the Warrior squad, and also the Fire Warrior squad shot into the Warrior squad, and as you can see, we killed them all. So now the trouble still being One Eye. We get into the assault phase of turn 4. Alright, in true Tal fashion, in our turn 4 assault phase, we assaulted the Carnifex. We hit him twice with our smash attacks, and of course we rolled 2-1. So he turned around, killed the Riptide. So now you guys are in trouble.
Alright, the beginning of my Tyranid turn, I rolled for regeneration for Old One Eye, got 1 wound back, and failed my instinctive behavior test, so I had to charge the closest enemy, which were the Pathfinders. And I charged them and killed all of them.
Alright, so in the shooting phase for Tal turn 5, the Fire Warriors and the Kroot shot everything they had into Old One Eye, and finally, after much shooting, finally killed him. The Broadside didn't have to take his 1 pop shot. Thank goodness.
All right, end of the game. I've learned a few things. The Tau put out quite a bit of shots, so my little guys, warriors, die pretty quick. Old One Eye, monster creatures in general do pretty well. Old One Eye went on a tear, a major tear. So I think if I play Tau again, I'm gonna use some beefier stuff. Don't go as troop heavy. Focus on killing them and not so much taking objectives. So all in all, it's a good game. I learned a lot, and everybody had fun, so everybody wins.
All right, see, yeah, these Tyranids got totally tabled, boy. They got tabled. That's what happens when all this is off the table, and you, boy, you can just get on over there and see my stuff still on the table. Yeah, you got tabled, son. You got tabled. Yeah.